Drip fed a little bit. Drip, drip. That's what they say. So yeah, bet on the future.
Buy Bitcoin.
Biggs and Boggs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your Future Hand with Biggs and Boggs. I'm Barney Boggs.
And I'm Julian Biggs.
And we got Spencer on sound and screens.
Spencer.
Thanks for joining us today, folks. We got a really good show for you. Stick around to the end because you're not going to want to miss this. Like, subscribe, and let's get into it. What are we up to today and how we plan for tomorrow, Julian?
Oh my God. Thank you very much, Marty Boggs. We're back in the studio today. Took me about 9 minutes to drive here and things are going freaking crazy in the charts. So, but first we want to talk about the U.S. Starting to adopt crypto. We got a city, Austin, Texas, looking to become the first hub of crypto for the United States. Unreal. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Russia accepting Bitcoin for their oil and gas. And we're going to talk about a bit of the war crisis and how the inflow of capital is starting to come into these assets. But we're going to get into a market scope first.
Market scope.
Market scope. So, of course, we are looking at the Bitcoin versus US dollar chart on the daily time frame. You can see this orange trend line we've been following for some time. We've been talking about getting tighter and tighter into this apex for some time. Marty was getting bored of it. But we are now making our move to the upside, cracked right off this line. Huge breakthrough. The EMAs, the 20 and the 50. You can see the 20 now crossing the 50, extremely bullish. We are now slamming right into this resistance box today and hoping to find a consolidation point in this chart right here for me. So this is a huge move. You can see we closed the day Saturday right on the bottom of this resistance box, and today's candle is just off to the races. It's unreal. Time of filming this video, $46,819. So huge move today. This is looking really good, but it's pretty fast. It's pretty hard, low volume on a Sunday, so I do expect this to cool off, and we want to find consolidation above this 200-day moving average here and in this box. So that's what I'm looking for. We're going to keep you updated. Things are unreal today, so we hope you bought down in the 30K range, and we're going to look to possibly be dollar cost averaging out of our position just slightly as we're in a bit of this euphoric state.
Yeah,
so
gotta pull those profits.
Yeah, you got to get some profits. So let's look at the SPX real quick. So this is, I kind of think, what led to this pump for Bitcoin for the weekend. We had a very strong bullish close on the stock market Friday. For the week, we got the 20 coming back up through the 200. You can see that the 50 didn't cross, and it's now bouncing back up to the upside. So I think that this Bitcoin pump is a little preemptive, waiting for Monday morning's stock market open. So we're going to look at this tomorrow morning when it opens, and if this thing is continuing to the upside, Bitcoin is going to continue to the upside. So we're looking at possibly putting a little bit of heavier hand into this position as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back on the updates.
It is, yeah. Get back on the updates. It's time to watch.
Time to watch.
Things
now
are
it's
about to
time to
happen
watch.
here.
Been boring a couple of months, but things are changing. Lots going on in the world. Inflation's happening. We're starting to see this inflow of capital. So obviously things are moving.
Yes, the race is on.
The race is on. Exactly. So the race is on. We want to talk about that too. Like, really, we're starting to see these big hedge funds and institutions and all this stuff starting to adopt crypto. But now we're going to see government adoption of crypto.
The panic buy.
Crypto laws passing, blockchain innovation and resolutions, and things that are going to resolve some of the issues.
Everybody wants to be first.
Traditional.
And everyone's kind of like, is it good yet? Should I touch it? Is it okay? Oh, he touched it. He touched it.
Oh God.
He didn't die. He touched it. He didn't die.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and we got Russia now accepting Bitcoin for the oil and gas, which is pretty crazy. So I mean, regardless of what your opinion is on the situation, this is fundamentally strong for crypto, and it's a good sign. So we don't know what's going on, but we do know that the sanctions and all this stuff in the crisis is obviously causing some inflow of capital into the market, and that's what we care about.
Nobody wants to hold on to fiat currency.
No, fiat, it's not worthless if you buy assets with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's just losing value so quick.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you have to put your money in anything else.
Yeah. So money, but you want to put your currency into money, because to me, Bitcoin, gold, silver, commodities, things like that, that's money, something that's going to hold its value. Whereas this fiat system that we have, currency, is fucking
it's inflationary. It's designed to sort of boost an economy so that it makes people spend their money because they don't want to hold on to it because it loses value over time, right? So it makes sense in a short period of time, but we have now been doing this for way too long, and it's obviously not really working anymore for the general public. Yeah. It's working for a select few who, by design, that's what they were going for, and they've done it, but now it's obviously we're in high times of equality, and that's going out, and this is coming in. So,
and we're going to start to see that transition into more equality, and I believe what we want to see
financial
is financial
equality,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we'll see that. So I believe, like you said, the race is on, and it's not going to be a fast race, but we're going to see a more of an inflow from governments, and bigger institutions and stuff like that.
Well, we also just saw Coinbase announce that anything above $999 will be investigated, or at least it has to be recorded.
Basically they have the right to ask for information. So it's not
right.
I don't think that they necessarily are going to be going around and looking for all the transactions over $1,000, but they want you to pay your tax, and they don't want you to traffic children. So it's
fair.
It's pretty fair. They don't want you selling weapons, and they don't want you moving things you shouldn't be moving. So if you're just the average citizen, I don't think you have to worry about. But you're gonna have to pay
But it's
taxes.
just a sign. It's just a sign that they're starting to pay attention to it, because they know it's not going anywhere, and people are using it, and that's the main thing. People are using it. It doesn't matter what they want it to do. If people use it, it will thrive. It will
and they will go with the masses.
Exactly.
Right.
They have no choice.
Yeah, so we're gonna see that. We got, I think there's 6,000 publicly traded companies in the United States, and only 15 or 25 of those companies, something like that. It's a very small percentage of those companies that are actually invested into Bitcoin. But even that will create the FOMO. Every single one of those companies will be forced eventually to have Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And that's the reality. We can see that now. It's happening. The fundamentally, like you said, is still super strong. Volume low, but...
But once the volume starts flowing in, because if we look at the cycle and how cycles have been going lately, it's actually cooled off quite a bit quicker than the last few, and which actually has made things bottom and turn up quicker than they have in the past. So,
and so this is where we see this we've had this huge growth curve for Bitcoin since its introduction to the world, basically in 2009. And that the curve was huge because the run-ups were so parabolic that, being the smaller market that it was. But now that we're sitting at $1 trillion in value in Bitcoin, we're starting to see that slow down. So like you said, we finished the year, and now it's a much shorter consolidation phase because we're seeing now more equity-style growth, as before it was just like this open, Wild West fucking market.
Exactly.
Right?
In the past, you would see a 90% retracement after an all-time high.
Yeah.
This time we saw 50%.
50%, which seems like a lot, but I mean, really, even in this, like a 50%.
It depends when you bought.
Yeah.
Depends when you bought.
Yeah. And I bought at higher prices. Don't get me wrong. There's some buys.
Well, you dollar cost average. You buy at all prices.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the way it goes. But you don't just
don't throw the whole bag in. What?
You can buy tops if you want to, but just make sure it's smaller amounts.
Most people like to buy the tops. So hopefully you were buying when the market was scary, and you're not like, oh, now it's feeling good, so I should buy. It's like you need to be buying when it's scary and selling when it's feeling good. So
chase the red candles.
Yeah, you make money in the red candles. That's for sure.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll see how this week goes.
Yeah.
It's like you said, we could still get rejected. There's still that possibility of making that third low, and if that happens, we're just dollar cost averaging our whole way down, and we'll dollar cost average our whole way up. We know momentum is shifting up. We know eyes are shifting in. Everybody's starting to look at it more and more. Like we said last week, we're seeing it in commercials and everywhere you go. So drip fed a little bit. Drip. That's what they say. So, bet on the future.
Buy Bitcoin.
Biggs and Boggs out.
Biggs and Boggs.